So today's July 4th, 2022, and I just thought I'd do a quick video tour of the boat. So this is the mizzen sheet here. Goes out to that pulley system there. This is the furling system for the mizzen. I basically just uncleat this rope and then manually just wind the wind the mast around. And the boom just rotates on the mast on top of this little piece of plastic, and pull this is the out haul for the mizzen. Just uncleat that, pull that line in, and that unwinds the sail. And this little thing up here at the top basically just keeps the topping lift there from getting wound around the mast while the sail's being wound up. Just holds that out. And the main works in a similar way. This is the topping lift for the main. I've got a little bit of bungee cord on it so that I can take the bungee cord off, and the orange rope is adjusted to about the right length, so that it just hangs slack. But when I want to have a little bit of tension on it, such as like right now, I'm sitting here at the mooring and the main sheet is sheeted in, but I don't want a lot of tension on the piece on the top of the mast. I just got a little bit of bungee cord, just keeps it from flopping around. And this is the out haul here for the main. So there's a pulley on the sail up there. Sail's wrapped around the mast. Line comes back here and then runs along the boom, up forward there to the gooseneck on the boom. Basically it's a yoke, and then back here to this cleat on top of the deck. So there's this line here. This is where it ends on the top of the cabin, runs out to a pulley on that side of the boom, runs back out to the end of the boom, back down again, and then off to this cleat. And then this is the furling system for the main. So the red rope winds the sail up. So basically just uncleat this, pull on this red line, and that pulls the pulley counterclockwise up there, which then winds the sail up around the mast. And the green line, basically, if I release the red one and I pull the green one in, then you can see how the mast rotates and the red line is winding up inside the drum. And then this will reverse the process, put it back the other way. So that's how it essentially works. It's just a combination of basically when I'm pulling it out, I'm pulling both of these lines at the same time, and when I'm furling it up, I'm easing these two lines and pulling up on this one. I've got the oars up here on the deck. It's the most out of the way place I could come up with them, and also have them easy to access. So the oar handles basically just go into a couple little rubber stoppers up there, just slide into the same fitting as this, and back here these just clip on and just hold the oars in place. But they're easy just to flip this off and get the oar out. The anchor's all the way up there in the bow, which is not an ideal spot for it, but it's great for like day sailing around. It's out of the way, it's lightweight, it's aluminum. It's pretty good. But if I'm going cruising with it, I think I'm going to move it back into the cockpit area or some other place where it's easier to get to and easier to put out. Either that, or I'll just row up into quiet nook someplace and then go up there and put the anchor out. There's two oar locks. There's the forward one here for Venetian style rowing, so I can row facing forward. There's an aft one here for the normal way of rowing. This is the rudder. Here it's in a rudder cassette. So this whole thing here lifts out like that. So I can take the entire rudder out like this, and I can put it in various, basically put it in a little bit or all the way down. It won't rotate, it won't turn unless it's all the way down. So if I pull it up a little bit, it basically is locked, but that's fine for rowing. And then I just have a little wedge here that I jam down the back side of this just to lock it in place at whatever height I want to put it at, like that. Just put it in the thing there, wedge it in place. It works fine. The tiller goes up, get it out of the way. I want a little more room in the cockpit. And yesterday I experimented with putting a little extra ballast in here. So I made up a little handle yesterday because it's hard to get these little hatches to unscrew. So cast a little epoxy handle, goes in there. Super easy now. And basically down in the space down here, I added, if you look in my older videos, you'll see I added a piece of wood here that can actually lift out, but it's a barrier to keep water bottles in place down there. So I've got about 70 pounds of water in water bottles down there now, just to give it a little extra ballast, and it seems to be working pretty well. The boat's definitely more stable with that water in it than it was without, which is no real surprise, but I just wasn't sure how well that would work. So I'll probably in the future be adding some lead ballast down here. I'll set up a system that I can basically bolt the lead ballast in place, because I don't want it like flying around and coming loose and punching a hole in the boat. At some point, if things got out of control, I want it to stay locked where it's supposed to be. So that's that. My little cabin space here. So I can lie in here. It's 6.5 feet from that bulkhead up in there back to here. So my feet just basically go in there. My head up this end. Plenty of room for sleeping. The boat does tend to list a little bit to port when I'm doing that, so which isn't ideal, but I think adding that extra ballast down there will help with that. This is the system for the centerboard. So you can see it's a 1/2 inch thick piece of stainless steel. In the up position right now, there's a pulley system up forward here. Eye on the bulkhead up there, attached to shackle on the centerboard. So this is all one piece. The hinge is obviously down there, the hinge pin. So I've got all this weight. This weighs 165 pounds. And to put that down, basically just pull a little tension. This is the rope for raising the centerboard. Pull a little pin out, lower this thing down like that. I just lower it down until this piece here comes all the way down. It sits there like that. And I've got this little green rope here that I can cleat back here. The idea being, so I cleat this thing back here, and the idea being that if I was to capsize this or get it well over on its side, I definitely don't want that 165-pound centerboard to try to come flying back up out of here. that would not be good. Plus I might need, I would need it to be able to stand on to flip the boat right side up if it didn't want to pop back up on its own, which it probably would, but excuse me. So this rope here basically just acts as a preventer to prevent that, the centerboard from kicking up. And if I was sailing in shallow water, I could obviously just uncleat this, and if the centerboard hit something, no big deal. But on windy days, nice to have that set up there. This is my rowing seat. So this is the cockpit area here. The rowing seat just drops in there. This is just to get the elevation up, so if I want to sit and row facing aft, got a nice place to sit. This locks in, sets in place. There's some little rubber strips that this is sitting on. So little rubber strips there, so that acts as plenty of friction. The seat doesn't slide around. And then this also conveniently works as a toilet seat. I've got a little filler piece that sits in here, so I can put a plastic bag up over here, put that on there, little container down underneath, and that's the head. So that's how that works. Dual purpose thing. So I've got, that's the little filler piece for the toilet seat there. Got a couple of storage spaces here, one on either side of the centerboard trunk. That's for easy access stuff. There's another deck plate you can see up in here, and then another one forward in that forward space. I put some bungee cord between this center cabin support piece and that bulkhead up forward, just to keep stuff from sliding around. That way I can throw some gear into this side up forward, and it's not, if I heel over, change tacks, it's not going to slide over into the other side. It should stay on the side where I put it. That's about it, I think. So yeah, so if I'm cruising or whatever, I've got my gear, my duffel bags, spare clothes, safety gear, things like that. I'll probably put in this area. Sleeping bag and that sort of stuff, when I'm not using it, will probably go up forward in that area, or possibly way up in there. Oh yeah, these net things, these really nicely made things. Thanks. Did you build it? Yeah.